Malaysia, somehow we always follow trend. Like, oh, hey, Singapore seems to be quite popular at this one. Then, wow, maybe it's worth a try.
Hi guys, my name is Dylan.
Hi, my name is Stephanie.
And today we are back to a home podcast finally. After so many weeks of not doing content at home, finally can get to eat snake a bit, 吃蛇 a bit. Yeah, so last few weeks we have been visiting a lot of condos and we are thankful for all the owners who actually gave us a chance to visit more houses to let us gauge what do we really want in an own stay house. And for me it's like more on a hybrid thingy, but for you it's like really an own stay one lah. But you want people to give you more bigger size house to see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those who have big size punya condo, do let us know if you want us to review.
Yeah.
We would love to. Okay. So I mean this week, recently the reason why we are actually wearing home clothes, right? It's not because we are at home, for the whole day. It's because for these past few weeks, I've gotten my keys to Laurel, in Bangsa South. Yay. And yay lah.
Workmanship.
UOA. Bagus. Yeah. And I got a very small condo. It's like around 500 square feet. Okay. So first things first, we went through a lot of processes because it's a strata condo, and the last time when I did renovation I sort of forgot the process already. So this episode is like to let you guys know what are the do's and don'ts and the guide to really renovate.
Basically what we found out throughout the process.
Yeah. And the first thing that normally when your condo is going to be completed soon, right? First thing, your phone show a lot of messages coming in from rental agent or makeover companies or defect checking companies, right? So they will be sending you a lot of quotations, a lot of prices, asking you whether I have a ready tenant and whatnot. This is a very common practice. And if you have existingly your trusted contractors, I mean, we all definitely can just find people that you trust lah. But if you don't, then you will start shopping, on the makeover. And that's one thing that I realized. I don't even know who should I choose initially.
Because there's an influx of, different companies
and most
contacting
of them, I never heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, how about the design? Is it very distinctive, all of them, or?
Okay, initially it depends on the speed. Like initially there's one or two companies that is very early in the phase. I think last year they started sending me, so I was like, okay, I can look at it. The first two is actually okay, but when at the later part when people started getting keys, right? Wow, very
more
similar.
More
the very typical is like Muji, because my condo is beige color, right? So it's like Muji. Then you have what tropical. Then you have what contemporary modern. And it's all very 一模一样. It's like very similar. All designs are just the same. And lah, people like us, we are owners. So when design is the same, it's not distinctive, what will be the main differentiation?
Deciding factor.
Yeah, price. So then at the end of the day, it's all about pricing for these makeover companies lah. But this round, I didn't employ any makeover companies. I did it myself. And the reason why I did it myself is because I feel that the makeover companies usually, their last mile of decoration is always very lackluster, in my opinion. So maybe you can, I think
it's like when you when they hand over the keys to you, right? You walk into your unit and you expect it's like a makeover, right? So you expect something more.
Yeah.
But when you see the design, it's a bit like, oh, just like that only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of feeling.
Like, all like that. But
I can also do it.
it's okay. You can say that we can also do it because that's the reason why we are doing it ourselves for this round. The design and the items, we all know where do we normally get, we all understand. And it's just a matter of how you place things and whatnot. Especially for units that are for investment, lagi lesser things needed. All those essential things. So for this round, we are actually making over it ourselves, and we really enjoy the process in the moment. But it's just that there are a lot of things to cope with. And one good thing about makeover company is they scouting everything for you lah.
Yeah, they help you deal with multiple contractors.
Yeah.
So you just get updates from them. And if we deal with it ourselves, then we have to deal with multiple contractors
Yes.
like electrician, then
plumbing if there is, yeah.
So a lot of things like electrical appliances guy. Like what
and
else?
built-in, like for my condo, I'll be doing some built-in, and I have to deal with the carpentry
Carpentry.
and furnitures. You order, right, everything from Shopee or whatnot, then you'll be coming in. Yeah. So I think the only benefit, in my opinion, is I save time, which is very important for everyone. But just for this round, I'll be doing it myself. And then, I mean, from a owner's perspective, right? This is my experience. When one of my condos has been completed, I went to see one of the showroom. Normally what they will do is, the condo, let's say condo A has been completed, the makeover company, they will try to quickly get a unit for 50% renovation cost, or they free you don't know how many months of rental or something, and they have multiple kinds of package. What they'll be telling you is, I'll make your unit as a showroom, but I'll give you at half the price of the construction renovation cost. So then people like me, the later ones who get keys, I can go to the showroom that you need to view. And I have an experience that when I went to that unit, okay, everything is quite nice. Of course, I have to shop around, right? For example, the quotation is 25,000. Then, the next fellow who blasted the message to me gave me the similar kind of design.
Then 23,500.
Yeah, it's actually that. How do you know the price? Agak-agak.
Agak-agak.
It's around 23,500 ringgit. And then I was like, oh, okay. Then I went and see the showroom again, because it's same but a little bit different. Then of course, as the salesperson would definitely ask, hey, have you visited other showrooms or whatnot? Then I'll be saying, oh yeah, I did. It's something very similar. Then he said, do you mind showing the design? So I was like, it's like this, just very simple one. Then he was like, hey, you know what? I can do the exact same thing, and I will give you.
No, they will see quotation first.
Yeah, they will see a quotation. They say, I can give you slightly cheaper. So because everything is like plug and play kind of concept, so they will try to match the first person's price. So the first one is 23,500, the next one is 25,000. They try to match it. Yeah, this is how the world works. I mean, from owner's perspective, I'm very happy because maybe you give me more things or cheaper price. But I was thinking, if I were the makeover or renovation company, right?
Very tiring.
Very tiring, because just comparing price and it's not beneficial, it's not beneficial for the economy. I feel so.
Yeah.
It's like, I realize one thing is, we Malaysians, we lack of creativity. So what do we always do is we copy. There's a term in Chinese, we say 抄袭并超越. It means you copy, then you'll be better. But then, now what I realize, we Malaysians, what we do is, we copy, but we don't be better. We be better in pricing only. We nego on the pricing, because we cannot be creative enough.
That's worse.
Yeah, and those who are very creative, like there are a lot of ID firms out there, their price is skyrocket . Like for a 500 square feet, right? Easily they can design it to 90,000 man. Money is like, it's not an issue kind of thing. Then you can go for them . Yeah.
This is why so many talents have gone away from Malaysia to other countries, especially Singapore.
Yes.
Because I think Singapore, they welcome more creativity.
Yeah.
They appreciate, like, how to say, if let's say they have this kind of new design, they will be quicker to accept than a Malaysian market.
Yeah.
Because Malaysia, somehow, we always follow trend. Like, Singapore seems to be quite popular at this one. Then, maybe it's worth a try. It's never like, I see this, okay, I want it. It's like, you always have to base it on other people's opinion.
We are very conservative when it comes to designs, and I think 审美观 is like beauty standard in terms of like home decors or furnitures, design, like, everything .
Until now, Muji is still so popular.
Not the Muji brand, it's like the Muji design.
The concept, the design concept.
Yeah. Until now, we are still going to that direction. And to be honest, I'm one of them.
Actually, other countries, right? I see it's Muji is way past already.
Yeah.
So long ago. Now it's all about eclectic style.
Yeah. Eclectic.
Dopamine.
And there's one drenching wood kind of thing, because now we are doing our own makeover, so we'll be looking at more the 外国 one, they are
overseas,
Europe, Europe, US and whatnot. And we realized that They are not even doing Muji. And we thought that Scandinavian design is still rather new. No, already 过时. It's already so outdated already. So yeah, that's one thing. You know, I mean, we are just actually complaining a little bit about how economy is working over here. I don't think it's beneficial, but from an owner standpoint, it's always okay. If you're comparing price, I think it's definitely good for us lah. But you know, that's one thing. Okay, so always check your makeover companies. Can they actually do a different last mile deco? And you know,
Last
maybe
mile deco as in, okay. So a lot of people will think of big things only. They will only focus on how the sofa looks like versus maybe the floor tiles versus the painting. You know, some people do geometric style, some people do maybe Suzuka, wallpaper. So they will only look at all these big things, right? But no one is looking at the small decorative items to really complete the look. So what I feel is those are equally as important because they are the binding pieces in a design. So without them, it's like something is missing.
If not, it feels a bit too cold. Like, for example, this house that we are staying now, initially the big items are here. So maybe for a guy, I don't know if I want to generalize things or what. For a guy like me, I'm like, okay, I got a sofa, I got a TV, everything got already.
Functional things.
Functional things. But when every time you come home, right, it feels a bit cold. It
like
feels a bit
just empty.
It's very empty, very cold, and that is the lacking thing that she pointed out. So I believe like maybe women are more sensitive in this kind of things. So yeah, I think that's one thing, and that's why we added some things. And if you guys realize, right, there isn't much echo already. So actually, at the back of the camera, we have added more things to actually absorb the echo.
These are just small decorative items.
Yeah, just small decorative. Like just adding a rug can make a lot of difference in the house. Like adding some small sofa over here. You know, one day I will show you guys. And yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is the last mile deco is very important in designing, because no matter how creative we are, it will be very similar. I think you can give your example on your own property. Like, how did you do your last mile deco to stand out a little bit?
Okay, so why I needed to stand out was because the entire block was fully furnished units. So basically, if this were intended for investment, right, I would have to stand out. So then I quickly went to IKEA. This was my first property also. So I quickly went to IKEA and then I got some last minute deco items, like small ones like flowers, flower pots, and then some, you know, fake plants, basically the greens.
Even cutlery as well, actually.
Cutlery, pottery.
Art piece, I remember, and a throw cushion,
yes.
Yeah, cushion, yes, yeah.
But then the developer actually gave me cushions also lah.
No, actually, for info, I know a lot of people say, fully furnished, still got a lot of things you buy. Yes, because for her condo, from what I know, her condo's fully furnished is actually very fully ready.
Hotel standard.
Yeah, you have literally wallpaper, you have all those wainscoting, you have island, everything is there, cushion, all that got already, From what I know, other developers, their fully furnished is like, I'll give you the big items only fully furnished, not that kind of ID also. And even with that, she's also adding things.
Yeah, and I added potpourri, you know. So a lot of things. Then the total bill came up to about 2,000 plus. Then we debated a little bit because he's like, you know, the typical guy lah. I mean, I'm not trying to generalize also, but when it comes to these kind of things, right, guys will never understand. So he said, why do you have to
spend so much?
Because the developer gave you something already. I mean, give you so much already. Then you just have to buy maybe three pots of flowers or whatever, you know, to distinguish.
At most.
At most, it shouldn't come up to 2,000 plus. And then I'm like, I already got the unit without any initial capital. Okay, so to get a house, you know, and even that, with that, you want to control on the cost of all these small decorative items. I feel like when you get a house, you should already expect to pay some money already. So just this 2,000 plus to me is like no brainer, because it's for my house, my investment. Even though it's for my tenant, but still I do filter out the tenant's profile and all that, right? So I feel like I should have the trust lah. And even if she really broke all these items or what, ultimately,
You can claim it anyway because
Yeah.
you have the deposit on hand, ma.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's the loss? No loss.
Okay, by you decorating, maybe you get the same rental rate with others, but you tend to stand out. So like for example, you maybe wait for 1-2 weeks, then you can. How long you waited? I think less than a week, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2
Less
weeks.
than a month.
Less than a month after upon getting keys, less than a month she can rent out. But from what I know from the agent, because it's fully furnished and a lot of owners they are actually very like me, so they're really like, oh nothing cannot send out just it's either you see the view or you compare on the car park only, that's all.
Literally, when I scroll that condo's name, right, on Property Guru and all that, literally it's all the same design. People just list it as it is, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I'm a tenant, how would I choose?
And even the agent also said like, oh no need to go and take photo. But then we insisted say no, you have to because we did
Yeah.
some changes. And only she went. So for other units, right, literally she don't have to go. And
So that's why my unit also rented out faster.
yes, much faster.
And of
correct.
course, I didn't nego on the price much because I feel like I want to just quickly rent it out. So it was quite fast. Really, within 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I rented out already. So the price was not was a bit below market value, but still okay lah. I feel.
It's very normal because when your condo is fully furnished and just completed, right, a lot of owners are very kanchiong one. So it's either you rent it super early or you rent it slightly later.
Yeah, when the units are already rented out,
Yes,
all your
yes.
competition is out of the market, then only you
You go
can
and rent?
stand out ma.
Yeah, lor. Yeah.
I mean, I think try not to be so kiasu lah. I mean, if you have a property already, you just expect some cost to be in. Don't be expecting, wow, zero cost, I need to get zero cost, then I get property.
I think it's also the expectation that agents usually say lah, like people who sell them properties or sell stuff, right? They will keep saying, oh, you know what, you can get ready straight away rent. But the whole process in between, like the waiting period, like if you have things you need to go loading bay, go management ask for approvals and whatnot, all these things is time and they didn't factor in. So when they realize, I need to pay 2 months deposit, I need to pay fire insurance, I need to pay this, pay that, suddenly like, hey, how come so much money going out? Because it's not being educated properly lah.
But you won't go and believe whatever the salesman says ma. You cannot believe them 100%, right?
You have to do your own research lah.
Yeah, you have to, I mean, it takes both hands to clap.
Yeah. So, back to a little bit to our renovation part, a bit lari already, okay. I mean the guide is first thing is to check the last mile deco, and that is the reason why we keep emphasizing. Second thing is, you have to know where is your loading bay. Like, when people, especially if you order from Shopee or any electrical appliances, their shop or whatnot, right? You have to know where do they come in and park. Then you have to ask for permit. You don't suka hati like that. Oh, tomorrow I'm free, you come here. And then you didn't go and get the permit. Management, they have the right to say, no, you have to give us 24 hours before, some even 1 week before.
Need approval.
Yeah, they need approval. Like, especially moving in and out is still very debatable. But if you were to do renovation, work permit, you need drilling, you need hacking. First, always pay your renovation deposit. Don't try to save the money on it. Hey, no need to pay one lah. We 偷偷做. We curi go and do. Just diam go and do.
Don't go the shortcut way.
Don't go shortcut. I tell you, if you kena tangkap, if the management is strict enough, right, you kena fine lor. But you will say, hey, my house, I cannot. No, this is strata. And that's why you have rules to follow. Always go law by law. Always check properly. If you want to do hacking and everything, those wiring work, approved or not. Now, do I need to do extra work? If I need to send email, send to who?
Some managements will require you to submit some drawing also.
Yeah, because it's their brand. If me myself, let's say this light, I want to move it far, but my contractor didn't do it well. Then suddenly short circuit. Then people say, hey, this is developer building, cannot buy one. But it's actually whose fault? It's our fault. But who is the one who take blame? Always the developer. I'm not citing developer, it's just from a very neutral standpoint.
But what we notice also is those developers with better workmanship, usually their management will be stricter on this kind of renovation permit and whatnot. Then those developer which has poorer workmanship, they won't care one.
Because they know memang need to rectify mah.
Yeah, and then even the renovation deposit, you can just submit some check, some empty check or whatever.
Yeah.
Then those good developers, they will require you to bank in cash.
Must bank in.
Yeah, must bank in.
So yeah, so I mean, always check what form you need to submit, what are their do's and don'ts. If they say cannot put white casing light outside the balcony, example, don't go and put, because you want to get back your money, right? They'll come in and inspect one. If there's something wrong, then you have to amend lor. Then if the things cannot be amended, then you burn your deposit lor. And it's not cheap lah. Normally deposit is like 1,000, 2,000, it depends lah. Okay, so always check your loading bay. Always check what forms you need to submit. Always when you want to move things, big things, there's a moving in, moving out form. Okay, there is the work permit. When you want to drill hole and everything, you need work permit. I think basically that's about it. Basically that's about the do's and don'ts. And
defect check also need to submit.
Oh yeah, defect check. You need to submit. That is always the first thing to do actually. Submit already. Normally you have to wait 1 month for them to rectify, only to start renovating. But if you don't really mind, if you feel that it's actually quite straightforward, you don't mind those pain that drop a bit, you don't mind, then okay lah, just proceed lah. Just proceed.
If developers staff sees you've started your renovation, right? They have the rights to not go and rectify that spot.
Yeah.
Because it's already being,
being tempted.
being tempted.
Yeah, it's being tempted already.
Yeah.
So always do check. And if you're in a rush, always like this, if you're in a rush, then don't expect people will help you to do your defects.
100% of the defect.
Yeah, so this is actually a very common thing. And I want to talk a little bit more about the makeover. I just thought about it. If we keep comparing on price, from one of my condos experience, right? I'm not going to name which makeover company. One of my condos experience is the quality is always being compromised of the items.
For sure lah.
For sure, like if you see, like for example, this sofa example is 2,000 ringgit. Then they say I can do the same thing for 1,003. You'll be like, oh, the first guy definitely he mark up, charge me more. But I tell you, there are situations like this. But sometimes that 1,003 one versus the 1,003 quality will be maybe second hand, or maybe don't know from where one. Or you never know. So this is like the dilemma when you are trying to pay a premium or what. So the only way to check is try to check their track record, or just go to their showroom and see and whatnot, or ask whether is there any warranty on this or not. So these are the things to really figure it out, to balance things. Don't be too price sensitive and don't be too easily gonna scam lah. I guess.
Don't be too demanding also, I feel.
Demanding.
Can you imagine being price sensitive and at the same time you want quality? Then you go and complain on the quality. It's like you should already expect, you're paying low price, you shouldn't expect quality things.
I think that's a common thing with people, right?
Yeah.
It's very common, like
they don't understand one, it's a capitalist world ma.
No one wants to earn less money.
Yeah.
No one is say, if people keep saying, 我没有 margin 了, I don't believe in that. I always believe that definitely there will be a margin, but always get the balance between both lah. Don't let people take advantage of you.
And you don't take advantage of people also.
Too much.
Just let people earn.
Yeah, just let people earn reasonably.
Yeah.
And if, of course, that party is not doing his own due diligence, then, of course, you have all the rights. But if some of the people who are actually doing the extra mile, try to reward them, appreciate them. Because I realize that over here, sometimes when we are in restaurants also, a slightly fancier restaurant, then you will see all kinds of people already. You'll see some of them, they have a little bit of money, they will be like,
they expect a lot.
They expect a lot, but actually their money is just like, huh? But you have, on the other hand, you have some table who from their conversation, they are actually very well versed, they are actually very rich.
But they just keep it very low
very
profile.
Low, and they're very polite.
Very decent, well mannered.
So I guess the same thing over here. I'm trying to make you guys actually understand more about this renovation thing, like how to be.
It applies in every aspect of life.
Hey, actually this guide like a bit lari a bit. But I mean, okay, this is not the typical renovation guide for a condo in Malaysia, but it's just a mixture of how we Malaysians, some of our makeover companies and some Malaysian owners as well. But the general step is always that few lah. Defect check, then who is your company and whatnot. Then always check is there any guarantee? Will they do last mile deco? And will they how is the track record? Then after that, check what's the loading bay to leave your things and all these things. I guess that's about it. And just hope for the best. And always, when renting your unit out, right, if your condo's location is good, you don't have to be kanchiong one. Don't kanchiong. Don't kiasu. Really, I'm serious. You all just think about it. Today, 100 units, example, the whole condo lah, okay? The first 5 the first 10% who gets rented out always get fetch a premium because they are the fastest. Then you have this bunch that is like the remaining 60-70%. That is where the price is very low. Then this 60-70% all gone already, right? Cool down already. That 30% also get to charge the very high price one. It's always like this one. This is how renting out unit works in Malaysia. So don't be kanchiong. Don't be that. Unless you buy a very high floor and you know you're one of the first few who gets keys, okay, fine. Faster. But if not, you're in the middle, you know you're in the middle, just chill it out. Just chill it out. Yeah. Just wait for the right price, from what I know. Because you know about market price is like 2.4, 2.5, but you're asking 2.6. At such a big supply, you know confirm you can't get this amount one. So just wait. If you don't want to wait, then just rent. Yeah, I think that sums up everything about it. So I guess this is a rather short video, but I think it really makes us think twice in our perangai, our attitude as a Malaysian. And of course, when you're renovating a house, there's some guidelines for you to know.
Oh, also, I feel Malaysians shouldn't treat foreign workers badly or discriminate them because they are doing all the dirty work in our country. So we should really give some appreciation to them. And it's quite, after being in renovation, doing it ourselves, right? I really feel a bit pitiful for them because they are just very young and some of them finish college and they just have to come over here to work all these what we call not so nice jobs lah. So and can you imagine if the locals are very rude to them, treat them so harshly, discriminate them? Because from what I can see is I'm not taking the bomba lift, right? Let's say if I'm taking the normal lift,
the residence lift.
Yeah, the residence lift. So somehow when they're waiting for the lift, let's say if I'm already in the lift, okay, it's stopped at their level. By law, they are only allowed to take the bomba lift.
The loading base lift.
Yeah, the loading base lift. But then, how to say, sometimes actually they're not carrying anything. So they can actually take the residence lift one.
They can actually.
If they have the card or something, right? Because that loading bay lift is for loading stuff.
Yeah. Big stuff.
Doesn't mean that workers cannot use the lift if they're not loading anything. Yeah. So I will feel like they are very shocked when I ask them, come in. Because I see they're not carrying anything.
Heavy things.
Yeah. So I just ask them to come in. They're very shocked. They're like scared a bit. So I feel like, okay, so I know already. Usually it must be some people who discriminated them,
Or even the management told them don't go. They are actually very afraid because sometimes because after working, sweating, right, they may be a bit. BO is very normal okay, body odor after sweating, come on whole day. They're cleaning, you think the corridor got aircon meh? No aircon ma.
Locals also got BO ma. MRT is filled with them. So then you ask the locals not to take the MRT meh? Cannot be ma.
So
I mean, you can just ask people to wear the deodorant or whatnot not to discriminate people. So I feel like sometimes, these are about basic human rights, yes. I feel. Because, taking the lift and all that. And
one tips also for you all, right? If you are renovating the house by yourself, just like us, they are the ones who can help you.
Yeah.
That's a tip. Like, you need people to drill hole. Where you go and find drill? You purposely go buy 300 ringgit,
with money. Yeah. But they are very willing to do.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing lah.
Yeah.
If you engage with locals,
Sure lor, you give me money you drill I okay but you must be high pay lah. But if you give those, they are actually existingly, they are already painters,
Yeah.
they're already construction, they are just doing a favor. But of course, a favor with money.
Yeah, but don't lowball people also lah. Just really appreciate people's work.
Yeah.
Because it's a karma, it's a cycle. So everyone's working here. So you never know how it can bite you back if you lowball people and whatnot.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Just try to be nice.
really, they can actually help you. You want people to touch up your house, to paint, ask them.
They
You want
really
people,
go the extra mile.
Yeah, you want people to paint, you to clean your house. Who do you ask? You really go and call those from other places? Where got time, right? You want people to help you to carry? Where got time? Of course, people say then just get a makeover company, but I don't want because I know a lot of them actually they don't do the last mile deco, which I emphasize a lot in my property investment.
And the quality, if you do it yourself, then you can
QC
assure
lor.
you can assure the quality lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's about it. Really, I think the last tip Stephanie pointed out is very strong. Is to respect people, of course, because they are the one who can help you a lot. And I guess with that, thank you so much for watching this episode. And if you guys have any comments, right, like whatever that we said just now, you think that is true or is not true, that you resonate with us, right, just comment down below or just DM me. We will reply you.
Or you want to bash us also can, just comment down below.
I mean, don't say bash 这样难听啦. We say it's a debate. It's a debate.
Debate down below.
Yeah, debate down below. Okay, I guess thank you so much for watching this episode. Do stay tuned to our channel as we will be actually doing a makeover series, like I said. And
Like, subscribe.
and share. And watch. See
Follow
you.
my name is Dylan.
Follow my name is Dylan. See you guys. Bye.